Live from the podcast rooms in Glasgow, it's all about the Gers with Ricki, Neill, Derek Ferguson and Charlie Miller.
Hello and welcome to the All About Gers podcast. It's good to be back for season 2. Sorry we couldn't make it here last week. It was nothing to do with the result. We just couldn't make it, unfortunately. But I'm joined by two of the best Rangers players I know.
I know.
They paid me to say that. Derek Ferguson, Charlie Miller. How you doing, guys?
All right, top. Very well, Ricki. Yes, good self.
Very, very good. But before we go into the chat, do you like the top? It's
You're
nice,
looking very smart.
I had the wee day off today, so
that's the one that passed around the govern.
That's the big one, aye. Anyway, before we start talking about football, I just want to say a big thank you to our sponsors. We've actually got a new sponsor. We've got to come on to that later, but we get Park Construction and Plant Hire, Plugged In Business Solutions, DB Dental Care, Giant C Architectural. But our brand new sponsor is the Armed Forces charity SSAFA. And we're going to get a few of the guys on for SSAFA throughout the season, and they'll explain more about SSAFA. But you can find out everything on our website, but you can also go to safa.org.uk/Scotland. But they're an amazing charity. They help like veterans and soldiers and the families, everything, you know. And it's like financial support. It can be, sometimes even just mental health, emotional support. But I've actually done a few charity wee quiz nights for them in Mr. Sing's, and I've met some very inspirational. Is that?
That's a good one.
Some of these guys are amazing, but the support that SSAFA have given these guys to try and get them back and live their life that they deserve, kind of thing. So over the next few weeks, we're going to get someone in from SSAFA, and we're also going to get throughout the season some guys that have actually been helped from SSAFA, which I think will be pretty amazing as well. We'll be changed to the show as well, but it's great to have you on board. But do you want to talk about football last week?
Before we talk, what size is that top?
You don't want to know, but remember there was quite a tight fit.
Aye. What size is that? Tell us the
5XL.
No, but do you know what? Remember
how did it get received?
That thing.
I can't believe it. How many? Not even 3 minutes into the show and you're talking about the size of my head already.
Nah, I'm only kidding.
But do you know what?
Smart, I like to talk.
What I was going to say was, it's double XL. Sorry, it's a double XL. But no, what I was going to say was obviously, during the summer, I actually started with a PT as well. So Stacey, my PT, I've finished now. I was only doing it for 1 month, and she would just show me about the gym. But I've been doing really well. Lost a stone in weight, so I'm getting there. I think that's just off my head right enough. But we're doing well, and I'm keeping it going as well. So just give me to Christmas time. And in fact, CB, I told you the other day, we've got a wee gig up in a place that I've always wanted to visit. I can't say where it is, but it's got the biggest Rangers supporters club in the world.
Yep.
How you know how to?
Because I don't think they've announced it yet.
All right.
But and it's got great black pudding.
It has, aye. It's
probably gives it away.
Hell of a plane flight.
17th
of November. Charlie.
Yep.
I'm not good at that flight. I remember the last time I struggled. Funny, I was on a flight coming back.
Derek cut a greenie.
Oh, by the way.
Turned into an Incredible Hulk.
And not a wee old woman were patting me in the head as they were getting off the plane. You okay, son? You okay? Oh, it was rough. I think they just thought it was obviously with the flight. Nothing to do with the 2 days we spent with Charlie Miller on the drink.
So I felt brand new.
I know you did. I know.
Nothing phases some, does it?
No, nothing. Oh, I was dying.
Do you know, just before we got to football as well, I just want to say a big thank you to all the Corby Rangers Supporters Club. I was down there with Gerani last week. That was another amazing night. We'll usually love it down as well.
They had a great crowd, didn't they?
They looked after us amazing. So
it was so good. And but Gerani had a game at 2 o'clock kick-off on Saturday, so we had to leave Corby at 6:30 in the morning.
Oh, that's a sorry.
So it's a sorry.
You must have had a sorted.
It was a sorry time. And anyway, we're going to talk about football, and we're going to need to talk about last week. I was quite glad we weren't on last week because the two of you were raging. I was raging. Every Rangers fan was raging.
Who wasn't he raging?
We were all buzzing about the league starting back, and then Charlie, what happened?
Well, I was fortunate enough not to see it because I was at horse racing. It was Ladies' Day at Hamilton, and then I was at Cumnock during the day, and it was pissing the rain, soaked. Then I went up to get changed, showered, then went to Hamilton racing and get the rain, pissing the rain as well, and then.
That was nearly cancelled, wasn't it?
Just to add insult to the wins, Rangers really pushed early tappies as well. So it was just a wet day all around.
It was horrible.
But the pitch, I know it's no, I've just signed 9 players, whatever. It's not a pitch you want to be making your debut for Rangers on against Kilmarnock, a team that don't want to open up. The horrible pitch, dry. Well, I don't know if it was dry, but they're not going to open up, and it's
But it was
just
sticky. It was
sticky, and
dry.
that sticky way, and you can't get the ball moving quick. So it wasn't a great start. All back foot already, but we have to give these guys time to settle in. But it was disappointing. It really was. It was. I just couldn't believe it didn't start with Cantwell. That was my biggest shock.
He's our best player, Charlie, and it was inexcusable for whatever reason. He never started Cantwell. Yep, you can make excuses about the playing surface, but we should be better than that. That's for sure. It was after as well, Charlie. The pre-season hadn't been great. You know, we looked a bit stuffy. I was expecting us to really turn up, you know, against Kelly. Although, yep, the way they sat in, their formation, allied to the pitch, but the players that were brought to the club, you were expecting a far higher level of performance than they brought to the table. So, and I think everybody was quite rightly really disappointed, really frustrated. But we've put that one to bed as quickly as possible. And there's been, a couple of positive results. So since that, but there was only one way to go, and that was onwards and upwards, because it was poor.
And the reaction for the fans is, you can understand, and a lot of them saying, "Oh, give us a chance." It was the first time we played, and there was it's like 7 new Rangers players, but Kilmarnock also basically did quite a new, fresh team as well. So,
Aye, but listen, we all knew that was going to be the case. You know, we knew Michael Beale was going to have a big turnaround in players, so you would expect to get that kind of out of your system in the pre-season games, and once it comes the first competitive game, the real stuff, I expected us to turn up. So that's how it was really, really disappointing. And it's as if we kind of, it just, the boys, you know, that have been brought together, and we can talk about, they're no gelling here and there, but this is why they're training day in, day out. This is why you're working things, certainly in the final third, so that we're better. But the boys playing up top, they just weren't at it. They were so easily, do you not think they were so easily marked?
The thing is, I think, hopefully that Beale had them working on the AstroTurf pitch at Auchenhowie. Surely they went and kind of done a rigid back 5-3-2 that Kilmarnock were going to probably play, maybe even 5-4-1, and we worked on that in training. I know you don't want to be training AstroTurf for a time, players don't like it, but we were going to be playing that on the Saturday, so at least do some shape against it and how we're going to move the ball and whatever. But
they were too easily marked. They were stationary. They didn't, for me, work hard enough. They weren't thinking about the game. We had a lack of width in our play as well, which we're relying on Tav and Barisic. But certainly the players have got to have a realisation, you know, during the game, and you know, they shouldn't be picked up as easily as that. They should have worked harder in their movement. And sometimes it's not even working hard; it's just being cute and clever. But no, it was really poor, and I was really kind of took aback, because I'd watched a few of the pre-season games and I thought, right, give them a wee bit of leeway.
don't like it better.
Aye, but aye, so it's out the way, thank God, you know. But that's it. Excuses are out the way. The guys have been together now for, I know there's been some additions and that, but it's the level of player compared to Kilmarnock. You should still be producing better.
Well, there's a wee positive note from WATP. The last time we lost the first game, we went on to win the treble. Was that Hibs or something?
Well, I was under Graham Souness. That was 86. We went away to Hibs.
No, we didn't win. It wasn't Graham Souness.
86, hi.
We didn't win the treble.
No, and didn't win the treble, sorry, but won the league, Charlie. I remember that. But that game was a totally different game, because although we beat the Hibs 2-1, I think that day we laid down a marker, because Graham had brought a lot of kind of top international players to the club. But and with the kind of performance we put in, because obviously Graham, he gets sent off after about 25 minutes, but we showed that day we weren't going to be bullied, we weren't going to kind of be outfought. So, and as I said, we went on to win the league that day. But it was a performance in that Saturday night, that was the big disappointment. You can put, sometimes games are like that, you can get beat, you know, but you go down fighting, biting, scratching. But we went out with a whimper that night.
Right. Do you know, like the first game last week, it was so predictable again, and I kept on saying that last season. And
it's every time we go to Kilmarnock. But do
you know, see, like I was listening to, it was a thing that was on the other night, it was about Graham Souness, and he was talking about how he used to break down teams, and he said, well, I had a player like Mark Walters who would actually run and try and take on players, and he says, in the minute he's doing that, if somebody's having to run to him, he's taking them out of position.
To double up on him.
You know, we've not really got anybody like that in the team that
Ricki,
do that.
do you know, I don't know, I think that's a great point, because we've got technically gifted players, but we've not really got a dribbler, Charlie, haven't we?
Haven't, and that's the thing, we've not got somebody who can go and beat a man, and then create that wee bit of space where somebody has to come out and then go to the winger or whatever, and then one of your midfielders can run through the middle or whatever. But it was just disappointing, and I'm just, the last 2 games we've put that behind us. Although Saturday I thought for 20 minutes were very good, and then it became stuffy again, and it was no width at all, and it was hard to watch at times. But I think some of the players are going to be good. I really do. I felt sorry for Dessers on Saturday. It's a difficult place to go and play at Ibrox when you're not having your best game. He's probably not fully fit yet, isn't he? I know he should be getting there. He's getting close to it, but I felt as if he just went into his shell a wee bit on Saturday, and the fans were against. But the fans are worried. The fans want 3, 4, 5 goals. We end up getting it, but you could see like some Dessers and maybe Lammers a wee bit off. What's happening here?
This is what these guys have got to deal with as well. When we weren't at our best, we weren't maybe at it, and the crowd, they get restless. Quite right. You know, they pay their money, they're in there to watch their team perform. So this is the other side of these guys. These guys have played at certain clubs, and they probably know how to deal with that level of noise. I think it was Desert, Charlie, that says, I think in one of the interviews, you know, when we were up, we've won the game 2-1, or I think it was the European game and that. He said, but I don't think he kind of understood that even during that, there's a level, a kind of expectation that you've got to be playing at it all the time. I think these guys, this is what they're going to have to deal with. They're not used to that. They're used to getting away with that a wee bit. No, at Rangers, it's got to be for 90 minutes. You can't just play for half an hour. So that realisation with not just Dessers, but a few of them, Lammers, Neill, a lot of them, so that'll kick in.
Sif Went has done well Saturday. I thought he did well, considering it's his first start and he's arrived maybe just a week ago. I thought he'd done really well.
I actually thought he took his goal really well. It was just unfortunate. The handball. But you see, like you were talking about there, and that, like some players just don't fit in straight away, and the ones that everybody always talks about was Haitley and McCoist, and look how they became, you know. So it's. But do you think players nowadays have got that much time?
Well, I think Lauder's probably taken a couple of games to kind of get the grips of it, and so did Gaza.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are just expecting him to come up and be unbelievable, and it takes you a wee bit of time to get used to your surroundings, get used to your teammates, and how to play. And the two of them became wonderful football players for us, and because I think Lauder's first games we get beat with Athens, we get beat with Celtic at Ibrox, we lost to Falkirk in the League Cup, and it wasn't a great start, if you know. And I think it was AEK Athens, the Champions League, but he came on to be a wonderful player for us, and so sometimes you just have to give him time. Last year I thought it was more quantity rather than quality. This year I'm looking at it and I'm thinking there'll be a good quality there. I'm thinking there is, but obviously the lack of width for me Saturday until Matondo and Sima came on, it seemed to change the game a little bit. But Livingston probably started to open up a wee bit, thinking they can maybe sneak a wee goal. But the biggest stuffy team in the world, Livingston, man. Man, mountains. See for Tav's free kick at the edge of the box. There must have been 5'6" guys in the wall.
Huge, isn't it,
Oh, my word, man.
But see what, like I was talking earlier on about Mark Walters, and did you see that run by Matondo when he came on? He did actually take on about 4 players and got into a nice space, and that, you know, I've not seen that from Matondo.
Well, he's capable.
Well,
he's already shown that. That's why he was brought to the club. 100%. So, you know, I think a lot of us thought he was going to be away. You know, so it's quite refreshing to see that he's hungry.
He's not in the European squad, is he?
No, he's not. He's not in for tomorrow night. Which, and there you're touching on it about the width, and we want players that can take people on. You're talking about the likes of the Mark Walters of the past and all that, the Davy Coopers and all that. That's that we haven't got. And sometimes at that top level, if you haven't got sheer pace, then you need the dribblers that are going to create a wee bit of magic. And although there is a group are technically gifted in that, you know, in terms of the 1 and 2 touch football, you still need that to break down like stubborn defences. So I think, you know, with the transfer window still open, I would like to see him bring in somebody like that. So a dribbler, somebody that can produce a wee bit of something different. Because Matondo, who else? Well, Scott Wright's still there, you know, but is he the answer? I'm not so sure.
The first goal on Saturday was a great goal, though. First goal was a very good goal.
Because it's Cantwell. He's the instigator. He's the man. And you just, because you go back to that, I cannot believe he never started that opening game. You know, you wonder why.
There must have been a reason for it. Do you think he maybe had a wee niggle or something?
You hear all the wee whispers that it was a wee kind of disagreement about something. I'd heard that there was a wee disagreement, and maybe that's why he'd left him on the bench. But if he's fit, you get him on that part because, I mean, that European game, he was sensational the first 25, 30 minutes. He was everywhere. He was at it, the appetite, the hunger. And I loved it because it's as if he was just showing the manager, going like that, look, why the hell did you leave me out on Saturday? Look what I'm capable of. You know, I just love his appetite. And he enjoys playing in front of the big crowds. He enjoys the pressure, doesn't he, Charlie?
He does. He takes the ball, he wants the ball. But I thought Saturday at times he was too deep, if you know what I mean. I thought he was too deep at times. There's him, Raskin, and there's Cifuentes, and I think obviously Lammers is kind of playing the number 9. I know Lammers just signed, but I would probably play Cantwell in that area.
I wouldn't disagree with you there.
But I've just signed Lammers. We have to give him a chance. But I wouldn't have signed Lammers to play in front of Cantwell in that position, if you know what I mean.
I think he's your best player, so we've got to find the right position for him that we're going to get the most out of Cantwell.
I think see Raskin, I think he looks a different player this season. I think he's holding back a wee bit as well. I don't know if he's been told to.
Maybe it's a different. He's been asked to play a kind of different role. We all thought he was going to be that, maybe predominantly that sitting midfielder.
Well, that's what I thought it'd been.
I think he's a wee bit more capable going forward. So maybe he's in between kind of positions. It's maybe not quite suiting him. This is why I'm saying about Cantwell. Get him, as Charlie says, further up the park, you know, closer to goal, where he can work a wee bit of magic. I mean, the first goal on Saturday, it's a brilliant wee step over, a wee dummy, innit? And then he gets a shot away, and then we get the results in the goal.
The team looked to me as if it was a 4-2-2-2.
And how, there you go, and how narrow is that?
That's what it looked like, seeing before the game started. I thought, that's 4-2-2-2, but we thinking Cifuentes was going to sit with Raskin, then it was going to be Lammers and Raskin, and then Danilo and Dessers up front. And I'm like, it's just, there's no enough width in it. You can't count on Barisic and Tav today. All that's just...
It'll absolutely kill them. I think the manager is, in his mind, when he's brought these players, has had a kind of... In his mind, he knows how they were going to play. But I think as we're getting into the season now, I think he has to kind of have a wee rethink and think about what we were talking about, the width. It can't always come for the two fullbacks because you can't do that continually for 90 minutes, playing 2-3 games a week. So we need like the Matondo to come in and stand up to it. But I think we need to go into the transfer market and bring somebody else.
Definitely. I see him on Saturday when he came on. I thought he was trying to be direct. The big guy he was playing against was a flying machine as well. Simmer didn't run him once. Took his goal well, by the way, don't get me wrong. But I just thought, right, okay, Simmer, let me see you go past this guy. But the big boy was quick, got his body in front, a bit stronger than Simmer. So,
we spoke about this in one of our live shows because we were obviously in Lounge 72 and we were doing it at Gallant Pioneer doing live shows, and there was rumours kicking about Morelos coming back. Someone has just said it there again.
Struggling to get a club.
Aye,
it's quite incredible.
Maybe his attitude or what.
There's talk of him going to Russia. I think they're at the minute, but it just shows you, you know, he kind of down tools on us. You know, everybody you can paper all the cracks in terms of, you know, listen, because we all loved him at one stage because of what he gave, but he brought to the party. But his last 6 months, even year at Rangers, you know, he wasn't at it. You know, and maybe other clubs have looked at that, you know, and thinking, do we need that type? Is he maybe? And I'm not saying that he is. They might be looking at him thinking he might be a bad apple. I don't know. But a guy that can put the ball in the back of the net, when he's at it, he's got that physicality, he's a real handful. Why are the teams not queuing up to come in?
I mean, I don't think there's much use speaking of Morelos because I know he'll not come back. He'll not be back at us. So he's away now. That's it. We move on. We've got new guys in. There's no use really speaking about Morelos. So I think if we're going to maybe bring one or two more in, then Morelos definitely. I wouldn't imagine for the life of me that he'll be one of them. So,
you know, we've always been lucky at Rangers with goalkeepers, and it looks like we've been lucky again with Jack Butland.
Saying lucky, I feel I'm devastated for Robin McCrory, but
Aye.
Jack Butland's a good goalkeeper. We
Yes.
said it before he came. We knew he was a good goalie. He's got a great reputation of playing at good standard of club. So we knew he was going to be a good goalie. I just feel terrible for Robin McCrory. And now Robin McCrory's linked to Man United and Hull City. Okay, he might go down there and be third choice at Man United, but he might go and play at Hull City. I would imagine he'll go and play at Hull City because there's no use leaving Rangers to go to Hull City if you're not going to be number one. So
There's a Polish team and looking for him as well, but I couldn't say their name, so I just left it out.
But do you not think Butland brings a calmness?
Butland's
Aye.
100%, and
Aye.
100% he's a good goalie. But I just feel for McCrory. But
Of course.
Butland's a good goalie. There's no doubt about it. So
I think he's just got a
it's his
stature.
football, innit? It's football.
Aye. Yeah, I think he's just got a calmness about him, which is
He's also
He's a
got
nice thing.
he's got that temperament that McGregor's
That's
got, I
aye.
think, as well.
Mhm.
Well, when he shouts when he needs to be, and he looks like
Yeah.
he can take control of the defence, you know.
Mm.
Lowry away to Hearts as well. Do you think is that the right move for him, Charlie?
Well, I personally, I don't know if it's the right move for him because I'm not him, but he's obviously fancied a wee. He wants to play football. He wants to play first team. It's obviously something's been happening in the last year and a half at Rangers, but we don't know about, or whether it be his attitude or it wasn't. I don't know. He didn't go on with managers, whatever. But he had to go and do something, and I think it's a very good move for him. Personally, I think he could go and do well there. Obviously, depending on game time and if his attitude is better, if that was his problem. But we want him to go and do well and hopefully become a Rangers.
I watched
Yeah.
them yesterday. That's the reason I watched the Hearts Kelly game. It was because of Lowry. He was okay. He was pretty quiet, but he's a talented boy, and that's absolutely a great move for him. By the way, so as playing at Hearts, Hearts are a big club.
No,
there's
Hearts are a big club, and I wasn't meaning Hearts
no.
are a big club. I'm just
And what I was going to say that it's a good thing is because there's a expectation at Hearts as well. I mean, they are if you're not winning at Tynecastle, they're not happy. They show their displeasure. So he's going to be at a club where he's under pressure, which I think is good because he could have went down to some team maybe in the Championship down in England.
He's linked to Northampton.
Ridiculous! Aye, that's ridiculous. But I like that he's at Hearts because he will be under pressure. And listen, he'll be kind of looked at from all angles. There'll be other clubs looking at him as well. So whether he's not going to make it as a Rangers first team player, I think it's a fantastic move for him.
So back to European action last week as well. Were you commentating on that? Was that the game you were commentating?
I was working at it. By the way,
What's that like being back at Ibrox?
it was
doing
magic.
commentary?
See when the teams come out and we were left the Brimlin, the big with the what do you call it? The cards and all the show. It was amazing. The hairs in the back of my neck were standing up. It was amazing. And then simply the best comes on and all, and so you forget you're working. And you kind of get, I know you're tapping away and you're like, and I'm going, I need to watch what I'm doing here. It's just brilliant. See a European nights under the lights. It's different class, man. Different gravy.
What do you think of the game then?
Brilliant start. Cantwell come flying out the traps. They were at it. We were 2 goals up, and then we go back to that Lammers miss. I don't know how. I mean, it's a brilliant build up as well. Great ball for Raskin. And I don't know, he does get his feet mixed up. But that goes in. We win that game 4-5, and even the game tomorrow night. I mean, that would be done and dusted. The tie would have been finished, but we took our foot off the gas.
At the moment, things just aren't going the way we want them to go. If it's just
fine
it's
lines.
early days, and if Lammers scores to make it 3-0, as Derek said, it could have been 4 or 5. But it's just why remands we're just not quite there yet, and I think we will. I'm more pleased with the signings this year than I was with last season's ones, and I think sooner or later it will definitely click.
Mm-hmm. Do you know? I thought they were doing brilliant last week, and then obviously they get the penalty, and we just seem to be a wee bit deflated after that.
And that's what you can't afford to feel deflated. Take the knocks. Certainly, I thought they would have come back out in the second half and really been at it. And they really kind of struggled a wee bit. That whole second half.
Derek, that's how you react to the game. And maybe Bill's saying, like, right, okay, we're 2-1 up here. We don't have to go hell for leather and try and win 3 or 4-1. We've still got a lead. Maybe we'll take that ways there. We'll protect that there. We'll go and hit them in the counter. Or else we can beat them there if we start the way we did on Wednesday night. So we're still in control of the match. I think it just depends how the boys turn up tomorrow.
They're a strong physical side, good fitness, but they're no world beaters. They play their 4-4-2. They don't play too much football. They just look to win, like, get their free kicks, and when they get their free kicks, they just put balls into the box. That's it. There's nothing fancy about them. So we've got more than enough.
Do you know this is actually their first ever sellout crowd?
Yeah,
So
since our ground was put
Redeveloped.
up. Aye. So it's a massive night for them.
But the thing is, as well, how do they deal with expectation as well? Their manager's saying they're a squad worth maybe 5 million or something like that.
They've got 1 or 2 players to come back. I mean, their second choice goalkeeper, I mean, he brought off 2 great saves. Their centre forwards coming back. I think one of the fullbacks is coming in because Barisic last. Aye, that's right. Barisic had, he had that whole left side to himself. You could see they were kind of unsettled a wee bit. There was a wee bit of kind of lack of communication in their back four. And that's where we took advantage of that in the first half with Barisic. And see the other thing as well, see when you're getting joy, why not we should have kept feeding it to Barisic. And he wasn't needing to beat the fullback. He was just getting allowed to get a touch with his feet and whip in the brilliant balls that he puts in. We should have kept doing that. Aye. But we stopped it. We stopped doing that in the second half.
Aye. Do you know, we mentioned Scott Wright earlier on, and I find it quite strange where a few weeks ago he was told he could go and find another club, and then he ends up playing in Europe. What do you think happened there?
Money, isn't it? You know, it's fell through. It's probably...
But I don't understand how he's in the European squad if he was nearly in Matondo.
Right,
wasn't he? And then Matondo comes on Saturday and Wright wasn't even on the bench.
Strange, isn't it?
Very strange.
Strange.
You know, and there's a few of them. There's a few still with Kamara still at the club, isn't he, as well?
He's training himself and everything, but something's weird happened there as well.
Right.
He's not even training the team in it, for what I'm hearing. So, anyway, moving on. Somebody actually made quite a good point, but I don't know if it will ever happen. Where was it again?
Gary McDougall.
Haribo. Derek, he's saying, talking about bringing a dribbler. Can we not bring Joe Haribo back in?
I would love to see Big Haribo, and that's what Haribo was brilliant. Ball carrier, gets past people, you know, drags people towards him. You know, that's what you were saying earlier about Graham Souness with the Mark Walters situation. Players used to double up in on Mark. So obviously it's more room for somebody else, but even when they doubled up on Walters still get past the two of them. But Haribo's a great shout, by the way.
But I don't think it's got. I would love it to happen, but
so would that,
because that would have been the first one you went to look at, wouldn't it?
Aye. What kind of money do you think would be for bringing him back to actually buy?
I don't know.
Crazy money.
It's silly money down there, isn't it?
Aye. There's Gallant Pioneer also asking, what's happened to Tom Lawrence?
He's injured
again.
Well, I think he was not again.
But I think it's
Aye, and once do you know something, and you've heard it before, Ricky, Charlie will say it as well, when you're coming back for a bad injury, you always pick up 2 or 3 wee niggles, you know, somewhere else, where it's your hamstring or your thigh. It always happens, so it does.
Saturday, I couldn't believe Roof didn't go on the pitch. See it 1-0 and they brought on the other players. I thought Roof's a certainty to come on.
See, he said his operation and that done now, and he
was on the bench Saturday and he's warmed up without any problem, but looks things, and I thought, here he comes, and then out of 5 subs, then he got on.
Aye. Game the Monday night anyway. How do we approach it? Is it just go for the win?
I think we'll just kind of play. Jack will play. I think Jack.
He was in the press conference today, so he was.
I think Jack will be back in with Raskin, and it'll be probably a 4-3, 4-2-3-1 maybe.
John Lundstrom stayed at home as well. Said it was personal family reasons or something.
Right.
I think it goes the back 4 with Golson back in with Suter, Tab, Barisic. We'll go Jack, Raskin, Cantwell, Lammers, one other, Danilo maybe, and Dessers through the middle. If he's going to play Dessers, that is.
But I say back 4. Aye. That midfield, Cervantes, Raskin,
will play. Sorry,
Cervantes, Raskin, and Jack. You know, as good athleticism. Jack can sit in there a wee bit more than maybe the other 2, but we've got to get Cantwell just further up the park. Whether that's Lammers, Sitsut, maybe Dessers as well.
I think Cifuentes. It might be Cifuentes, Lammers, and Cantwell as a 3 in front of the 2. Raskin and Jack with either Dessers or Danilo up front.
There's our big friend Stuart Finlay saying big shout out to John Suter as well. Let's hope he can stay injury free because he's been good.
Yep, big man done well. So I was in the Miko John's. We Sammy Preston sponsored the game on Saturday. And we're in the Miko John and we Sammy give Big John the man of the match because I think man of the match for the one great block. Well, cut off that was going. It was a tap in at 1-0 and it was a great last gasp block. So I think the big man got it for that because I think the rest of the game there wasn't so many people who could get them out.
He's your modern day centre half, ball playing centre back. You know, he ticks all the boxes in terms of his stature, his big boy, he's good in the air, good tackler, but he can play. I love when he breaks forward.
Oh, that scares a shit out of me, by the way. Because he does it and he beats about 4 people, but then it's as if he's burst by that point and loses the ball.
Mulligan done it on Saturday.
So I mean, I've not actually seen him. He does this big run, but then he's right out of position.
But that's then the job with other midfielders. If they see him breaking forward, you just sit off it a wee bit, and that's where you need. That's like the tomorrow night. Because if he was to break forward tomorrow night, then you've got guys like Jack, Juventus. You just tuck in and you let him go. I think he's brilliant at it. So he is. But we always know he's been a top player. Just really unfortunate with injuries. I just think he's a top class player. So he is top player.
Charlie, there's Gary McDougall explaining why he's got rights in the Champions League.
I understand.
We need 8 homegrown players in the squad.
God, that's right. That's that rule.
Because we had one starting on Saturday.
Is that it? One?
Suter. One.
See the other thing you're talking about that. See at times as well in the European game, you're talking about big boys earlier, Charlie, about Livingston. The two Servette centre forwards are big lumps, by the way, big, athletic and strong. We went 2 for 2 quite a number of times. But again, you would expect that a wee bit at home. But I don't think, I think there'll be a wee bit more security. Maybe you'll know, maybe Suter or whoever it is going to be playing there driving forward. Maybe we'll just sit in a wee bit more and allow the guys in front of us to go and in front of Suter and whoever's going to be there, whether it's Balogun, whatever, just to kind of let them go and work their magic. But no, they're a big, strong guys. And that was a slight worry. So it was. Because all it takes is as soon as the ball breaks down, and they don't try and play, they just lump it forward. That's how they're so unlike a kind of typical European side. They don't play that way. They don't feed it through the lines. They just go long, Charlie. Just dead direct. So we've just got to be aware of that.
Sorry, I'm just reading the comments. Some of them are like quite serious comments, and then you get one guy, Ready Teddy Bear, he says, "No, what annoys me about Dessers is auto spell on his phone usually changes it to dessert." So there you go.
I don't think he'll play tomorrow. I think they might take him out.
Probably go Danilo.
Aye. Well, look, he went and played through the middle, gets his later on in the game on Saturday, gets his goal. We're ahead. Decent in there as well, wasn't it, for a weird guy?
So he'll probably go Danilo, Cantwell, Lammers and Cifuentes behind.
Aye.
Maybe.
Right, moving on to this Saturday, cup game against Morton. What kind of team would you?
This is when Dessers starts. Try and get him.
How were you going to say that?
No, I'm saying, what kind of team would you play?
Your strongest side.
But Dessers start to get him a goal, to get him confidence, to get him fitness, to get him into match. Because I think he'll be a player. I really do. I think he'll do well.
Because we're talking, they're a work in progress. We need to give them game time. They need to be playing together. Play your strongest side against Martin. They're Mugs as well. They've started okay. I thought they might get beat at the weekend, I'm sure. But Dougie Emery's side, they're physical. They've got a great attitude. They'll not lie down. So play your strongest side and see if we can. What Charlie's saying, score a few goals, get a wee bit of confidence as well. But get those guys playing together. That's first. I'm not too interested at this stage at let's bring in 1 or 2 of the fringe players. No, get your strongest side out.
Dowell's hitting Saturday was incredible.
It was
a peach, wasn't it?
And look where he started it for. He started it for about 40 yards for his own goal, 30 yards away out in the wide area.
Great hit.
Wasn't it? Brilliant. Brilliant desire as well. Because when he flicks it inside and Danilo's travelling, I mean, he's bursting a gut to get up there. What brilliant strike.
It just shows you how a game can change. But you see, for I think it was 13 minutes we scored the last 3 goals. I had to fear that it was going to end up 1 each.
Squeaky bum time.
It was horrible, but and that's what it did. It flattered us that result, But
what's your away support tomorrow? roughly, where will we go to that? What does that ground?
It's 30,000, I think, odds.
Is it? I
Aye.
wonder how many we've got in there.
Big stands about, I seen he's away.
4,000.
I think you'll need a few bob there. It's about 8 or 9 quid a pint, isn't it?
I seen 9 quid in Glasgow, but about 18 quid there.
I seen somebody on Twitter said he's only been there an hour and they spent £150.
I know, these places are.
God knows it spent it on right enough.
It'll be beautiful, right?
Switzerland's there. I was in Lugano years ago with Rangers, man. Bloody hell. Expensive place.
Sorry, so just reading my notes there.
I know you were. That's how we went quiet.
No, I'm just going to go back because we've kind of not really talked about all our new signings that we've got in. Who's really impressed you the most so far, Charlie?
Cifuentes, and
he's only played the one game. What about yourself, Derek?
Oh, Danilo. I think even watching him on Wednesday night, and he's still finding his match sharpness. Again, playing with our players. He looks as if he's going to be exciting. I like that he's good in there as well. He's decent there. He's you can see he'll work for a team, but he's got a wee bit of magic about him. So he has. Desers, he's got the hardest job of the lot. When you're a centre forward, and you're playing with Rangers, the expectation is you should be banging him in. So again, he's maybe got his match sharpness. But as we're kind of talking about there, like this game coming up on Saturday in the cup, you play them because they need confidence. Strikers are all about confidence, so it just looks just a wee bit off it. But then the expectation when you come to the club and you're a Rangers centre forward and the kind of hype that comes with it, we're just expected them to kind of hit the ground running. But no, we keep waiting. But no, for me, it'd be Danilo. That's for sure. Lammers see all the boys. They're all good. They're all nice, good football players. But the other side of it as well, they've got to learn to deal with the pressure that comes with playing with Rangers. So just having an alright game is not enough. They've got to produce that all the time.
And that's a great save on Saturday, by the way.
Oh, did you see it? They just touched it on the left. Aye. That's when I knew he was a good keeper. When I seen that save, it was a peach winner. I don't like to think obviously we're going to win tomorrow, but if we
think we will.
I know, but if we beat them, then is it PSV we've got after that?
They're 4-1 up, aren't they?
By the way, I watched them last
week. They're good, aren't they?
Oh my God. You see them from middle to front. See their two wingers, they play 4-3-3, the two wide men, they're sensational, by the way. Big De Jong through the middle. And obviously they've got the Tillman. He's went there on loan. But even their midfield, Charlie, you ought to see them, the pace, the movement, the directness. Oh my God. They're when we get through, that's going to be a hell of a two-leg affair. So as we're going to be right up against it. Aye. So we'll need to be
last year, isn't it? Similar.
They're better than what they were last year.
Aye.
Honestly.
Similar last year.
You should go back and try and watch
saying that, see, we could have been 4 or 5-0 up against Servette before they get a penalty, and we would have everybody been going, "Oh bloody hell, it's going to be a hard game for PSV." But obviously, we see PSV's result on the Tuesday after a result on Saturday. We're thinking, right, okay, well, how's it going to be on a Wednesday? Maybe we're 2-0 up cruising, and it could have been 3 or 4. Maybe so.
Maybe this is the type of game that we need against PSV to get us up and going at it.
To raise your level.
Aye, because that's what happens. And you would like to think the boys will. So it's we'll get through the tomorrow night. It's not going to be plain sailing. We know that. They'll get a go. But the PSV, that's a different kettle of fish.
There's a few people. I know you're not too keen on Barisic. I actually do like Barisic.
Defensively, I've always he switches off defensively. So does Tav at times. But what he gives you going forward, we've never questioned that. His deliveries, and so far the last couple of games, have been bang on the money. But it's just at times he just switches off in the big games, which is a real worry for me.
See the past couple of games, I don't know if it's Tav's fitness or something, but he's actually looking like he's lost a wee bit of pace.
Well, I noticed on the Wednesday night that Raskin a couple of times was on the ball. He didn't want it off him. He was actually saying, "No, don't feed me it." And I don't know where he was getting his breath, a second wind or whatever, which I was a wee bit astounded at because it was the side where the stand main side, so where the manager is, didn't want the ball. And I'm thinking, You know, and then there was once Juventus gets possession of the ball, and you could see him, he wants to play the ball in front of Tav so that he can run onto it, and he never got there. You know, it's evident he wants it to feet all the time, to feet. Sometimes just go forward, you know, but he didn't want it for
It
us.
was just the game at the weekend there. I thought he just looked a bit slow.
Mm-hmm.
As
Probably
if-
still getting up to match fit as well. It's probably just the same idea. Or just all getting, because we're probably 3 or 4 games behind Kilmarnock. I know people say we should go down and beat them. I know that we should have better players in Kilmarnock, but match fitness and match sharpness, it's a hard thing. You need to be playing all your games. You need to be playing at least 80 minutes of games, and a lot of the boys haven't been.
And seeing that formation that we're playing at the minute, that's a fair old job that to get up and down for the 90 minutes. It's hard work, because you're talking, that's like you're always looking at what 40, 50 yard runs, you know, so it's a bit of a killer.
60, 70 yards back.
But that's what, by the way, in fair play to Barisic, you know, I'm going back to the European game. There was 2 or 3 times he bombed for about 70 yards, never got the ball as well. And it is hard getting back, but he's still getting on the overlap, he's still getting there. He's just showing a wee bit kind of a better appetite for the game, but that's what I'm saying about Tav. Maybe no as much of the appetite to get himself further forward. Sometimes you need to make the runs. You're not going to get the ball, but you still need to make them. And I don't think Tav is kind of prepared to do that as much.
That's how it's always been a centre mid. Better being a centre midfielder than as a right winger.
Just hang about in the middle.
Being a right winger, you need the centre midfield plus to keep the past up the ball.
I'm going to give you a random question that's come in online from Philip Gage, and then we'll do the score predictions. All right, but Philip Gage is saying, what's your thoughts on a 16-team SPL? Tired of playing the same teams 4 times, 30 games a season, 16-team league.
It always crops up, doesn't it? It's when you play each other 4 or 5, can be 6 times
Because of the cups.
during a season. That it gets a wee bit too much. So I would like to see. I mean,
I don't think it can happen.
But the championship, you look at who's in the championship at the minute. You've got Dundee United in there.
I don't mean it couldn't happen, but I'm saying I think that the top teams in the league wouldn't vote for it because they're losing their
money,
old firm game money.
Aye, that always rears its ugly head. That, but
so they're losing their money against Rangers Celtic. Their 2 home games.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of them getting 4 home games,
to gear that up.
So it's all down to money basically then, aye.
So they're getting 4 old firm games, they're only getting 2.
Mm. I'll give you another one as well. Why do we always have to stick to tradition and kick off at 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon?
We don't.
But predominantly here, why do we not kick off earlier? You know, even get into the winter and all that. You think, you know, even like you talk about floodlights and all that. I prefer an earlier kick off, 1 o'clock.
That's just so you can get home earlier. That's just all about you.
Do you not think so? But do you know, I think it's right in the middle of the day. Get a kick off lunchtime.
That's just
a lot of lunchtime kick-offs, but so would they.
That's just so you can get back to the man cave, innit?
Everybody kicking off at kind of 1 o'clock during the day, Saturday afternoon.
Right, we'll do predictions. You know what I'll do? I'll keep notes of the scores this time so that we can do a wee competition, see who's going to win it at the end of the season.
Right,
Who wants to go
what
first?
does the winner get?
Oh, I don't know. We'll think about that at the end of the season.
Right, the score line for tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
I'm pretty confident. I think we can go there and I think we'll win 1-0.
2-0. Confident 1-0.
I'll say 2-1.
No, because I was going to go 2-0 there, but I'm just
2-1.
trying to think. I think we might be a wee.
Charlie's 2-1.
You going 2-1?
Yes.
Right, I'll go 1-0 then. There you go. We'll win 1-0. We'll win the game. 1 or 2-0.
I'm just going to go
3-0.
No, I was going to do 1-0. I'm going to go 2-0 just to be different.
I think and the reason I'm saying 1-0 because we will be a wee bit more solid tomorrow night. We don't need to go and chase the game. That's the thing. He says it earlier, we're in control of the tie. So we don't need to go gung-ho. So we can kind of play maybe a kind of more controlled game. But we still win the game. We don't want
to let them start on the front foot and we're pinned in for 40 minutes.
See, like a clean sheet.
We just have to get on the ball and make sure we're in good possession of the ball.
Because they never caused us much trouble.
They seem to get caught in the break quite a bit as well. Did you notice that as well?
But then again, I think their back 4 was disrupted. They've got a few players back in. But no, they didn't cause us any problems really at all. I can't remember Butland having to make a save. There was a couple of shots that straight down his throat and his arms, but no, I'm confident. A good solid 1-0 win.
Right, Charlie, Martin.
I'm going to go 5-1.
Oh, you know what? A clean sheet? No.
I do want a clean sheet. I always want a clean sheet, but I'll go 5-1.
4-0. 4-0.
I'm doing 5-0.
Martin.
I'm doing 5-0. You shut up.
No, 4-0. But I'll take a wee bit to grind them down as well. Don't think you're going to go there and they'll just roll over. They'll certainly not do that. No Dougie's side. They'll be
It's
fighting.
at
And
Ibrox,
biting.
isn't it?
Mm.
Aye.
That's a good game.
Aye.
Well, looking forward to the football tomorrow night, and it's good
Yeah,
to be
man.
back again. Enjoyed that first
100%.
podcast. That's it, finished already. That's already 45 minutes. So, like I said earlier on, we've got a brand new sponsor, SSAFA. It's Soldiers, Sailors and Airmen's Families Association. You can find out more about them at safa.org.uk/Scotland. And also, we've got Park Construction and Plant Hire, Plugged In Business Solutions, DB Dental Care, and Giant Sea Architectural. And we'll be back next Monday. In fact, I think, is it Bob Malcolm? Maybe coming on.
I'm on holiday.
Bob might be coming on next week. So,
I'm going
you're
to
going to Bologna as well. In fact,
they're playing Milan.
But it's the following week he's gone away.
No, it's this,
No.
this coming Monday.
That's Monday, isn't
Aye.
it?
This coming Monday.
I'll be fine. We'll get some.
And that's the only game. That's the only night that I'll miss. That's.
In fact, you know, quickly, a few people have been asking how Lewis is getting on. So, do you want to give him a quick update?
Well, I wasn't too happy the other night. They won 2-0 in the cup, but they never performed very well. I think Lewis should have played a wee bit better. But also, there's quite a number of them. But then again, they're just coming after pre-season. That's their first competitive game. Maybe I'm.
Thiago Motta Ferguson here.
But I'm maybe looking for a wee bit more for them. But
Thiago Motta's our manager at Bologna.
they've just signed a winger today because that's one thing they've been needing. They need a wee bit of width. They need a bit of pace in their side. A bit of
Big man still
directness.
up front. Arnautovic, is he still there?
Aye, now they've got a big boy Xerxes. Come on, what a goal he scored. Lewis just rolled into him in the box, and the turn's brilliant. He's a monster, I know.
Yeah.
Xerxes. I've got a photo. He's about 6'4", centre forward, big, powerful lad. But a great touch. But
Were you standing in a box, eh?
by the way, 2 boxes, and I wasn't getting anywhere near him. But no, so I'm going out there. Because the big games are great. I love them.
So he's enjoying it then, eh?
Loving it.
Loving it.
He loves life, so he does. He's a happy chappy. So that's the most
the main
important
thing.
thing, isn't it?
That's good. That's it. All over for tonight.
Cheers,
But
guys.
once again, thank you, and we'll see you all again next Monday at 7:30. Take care.
Ricki!